This has literally changed my life, changed the way Coach Wallace, Flint Wallace, probably, and now it's probably, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, got me really studying Simon Sinek and how to play the infinite game, and I'm going to share with you with it today. It has changed my life, and it is the way I look at it, and it has been very helpful. So the book is The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, but actually when he was talking about the infinite game was long before he wrote the book. He was talking about, how many of you guys know who Simon Sinek is, if you raise your hand? Just a couple? Simon Sinek is incredible. So if you have never read Simon Sinek, I would highly recommend it. But I think even better, some of you guys don't like to read very much. I get that. When I was in college, I didn't read. Now I read 3 books a week. So just go on YouTube and go Simon Sinek, and you'll have some YouTube clips that have been exceptional. So a finite game, what's the difference between a finite game and an infinite game? Finite game is a game of baseball, right? The game of baseball is agreed to set of rules, specific time frame, there's a winner and loser, and the goal is to win the game. That's the finite. Unfortunately, we extrapolate that in every other area of our life. So even in marriage, sometimes, many of you guys are married, and you'll know that do you want to win the argument, or do you want to be happy? Right? So there's a decision you want to make, right? You're going to win. You want to win. And in relationships and in other times, we want to look at this thing differently. The infinite game is the rules are constantly changing, and are not mutually agreed upon. There's no time frame. Players drop out when they lose their resources or desire to play, and the goal is to perpetuate the game, to stay in the game. The infinite player's goal is to beat each other. The infinite player's goal is to be better than their previous selves. I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. That's my whole goal, right? So Exhibit A would be Microsoft versus Apple. Both are very successful. Microsoft is consumed to this day with beating Apple, and Apple is consumed with the obsessive self-improvement and creating extreme customer value. So Simon Sinek talks about the famous conversation that he had. He spoke at the Microsoft Summit, and he spoke at an Apple Summit. In the Microsoft Summit, almost 70% of the presentations were how they're going to beat Apple. Then he spoke at the Apple Summit, and 100% of the presentations were how to help teachers and students learn faster and better. Microsoft never came up, right? One is playing this way and one is playing this way. You want to know which one gets frustrated, right? We all, your players especially, but certainly us, we get in the comparison trap. We just love a ranking. We have the intense desire to keep up with the Joneses. And here is a study that kind of exposes that in us. Our kind of, I wouldn't say our dark side, I would say our weak underbelly that almost all of us have. I certainly can fall into it. See if you can too. The Dartmouth study was this. They took a whole bunch of people and they asked them this question: would you rather have a $500,000 house in a neighborhood of 250K homes, or would you rather have $1 million home in a neighborhood of $4 million homes, right? So would you like to be a $500 home and be the top in the neighborhood, or would you rather have $1 million home and be in the bottom of the neighborhood? Well, I don't know what you would write, but 69%, and you know today in today's world, 69% of getting anybody, 69% of the people to agree with anything is amazing. 69 would rather have the $500,000 home. We just simply want to be better than each other. That's a sad way to live a life, in my opinion, right? This is classic finite thinking behavior. So let me give you an example of this. There's Todd Marinovich. This is a classic case in point of a young man that his dad and his full family played the finite game, right? The finite game. He was just incredible. They actually, Sports Illustrated had an article on him. Sorry to bring this up, Jimmy. I know this is, you're an SEC guy. He actually had can you imagine being 18 years old and have a Sports Illustrated article with you on the cover that says, "Bred to be a superstar"? Can you imagine the pressure? Sports Illustrated, by the way, should be ashamed of themselves to do something like that, but they have the media today they just sell the book, or sell the magazine. And he was thought of being the perfect quarterback. His father assembled the team of advisors, and his whole goal was to be a professional quarterback, an NFL quarterback, right? He was picked the 24th overall pick, the second quarterback taken after SC, ahead of Brett Favre, signing a 3-year, $2.25 million, and $2.25 million. Imagine that in 1991. That's some good money, right? So everything is on track. Within 3 years, he was out of the NFL addicted to meth. And he said to his wife, "I don't want to be Todd Marinovich anymore." This is the classic thing. He got what he wanted, which was what, guys? He was bred to be a superstar. He got in the NFL, and then what happened? So what? He got there. Now what? There was nothing past that. It was empty. He achieved the goal. He got to the top of the mountain, and his life didn't change. It still felt empty, sad. He had all these problems, and he tanked, right? Success, our players, here's what I'm trying to share with you guys today. Our players believe that success, fame, and fortune equal happiness. They believe it. Take a look at these six people. Elvis, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Bill Cosby, Marilyn Monroe, and O.J. Simpson. Now, in our lifetimes, who have been more successful than these six people? It's hard to imagine, right? These are as famous and as wealthy as anybody that's ever been. Now, we know how are their personal lives. How were each of their personal lives? A disaster. Not just okay. A disaster. A living hell. So if that is our goal, if that is a goal for our young people, is to be as famous as Elvis. And believe me, there's a lot of our young people that want to be as famous as these other people. We just didn't see it coming. This cannot be the goal. It cannot be the goal. It will be disastrous. It has been proven over and over again. You need a foundation of something else. So there are no bigger stars than 1950, So today's stars. Let's go to today's stars. This is what I talk to with my minor league guys or my high school guys that are headed to superstardom, right? I show this. Right? Fantastic. How's his personal life? I promise you, not good. How about, who had a better run than Tiger Woods? Cam Newton. This is unsustainable, gentlemen. How about this? Unsustainable. This is all finite game stuff. Finite game is I'm going to beat you. I'm going to have a better life. Every way I'm going to beat you. It's all about me, 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 me. It's all about me being better than you. This is what this is about, right? This picture right here is all that about, right? That's what it's about. Now you might think it's clever. You might think it's funny. I actually do. I think McGregor's funny. Right? I think he's funny. However, I don't want him in my inner circle.